nationwide. We're checking in from all over the globe. Let's go, guys. Come on now. I love it. We're going to get started here in just a little second, guys, so keep them coming.
Jonesville, Michigan.
There we
Charles from
go.
Atlanta.
Michigan in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Charles from Atlanta.
We doing, Charles? Beautiful,
Armando,
beautiful guys.
Armando from Los Angeles, California.
Let's go. I was wondering if we had some Cali in the house. Let's go. Come on, Armando.
Brian,
Who else we got, guys? What's going on,
Orlando
Brian?
from Northern Virginia.
Hey, Orlando.
What's up?
Eve in Charleston, South Carolina.
Good evening, Steve.
Hey, buddy, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. We're good.
Hey, we're live. My microphone, little issue, but let's get it rolling, buddy. I appreciate you setting me up. And I got my Bank Breezy hat on. We got a good group of people here live, and we're streaming on YouTube. So let's get it rolling. I appreciate everyone for chiming in today and for being here. And what a great month we got going already. Let me get my screen share going so we don't have to worry about this silly stuff that, I got to get my video working so we don't have this. But you all see that green screen? Local leader meeting? You got
yes, we
that?
do.
All right, thank you, buddy. Serving local business owners, building a local agency, getting paid well to do both. That's what we're here to talk about tonight, guys. This is for the local leaders who want to lead a local market. Before I get into it, let's congratulate our top 32. They're not there by accident. They're there because they're moving, right? They're serving. And let's keep serving. Let's keep educating. Let's keep expanding. Who are the top 32? Well, here we go. 32, Philip, Joan, Jeffrey, Mark, Terry, Ramirez, Lynette, Ellen, John, Israel, Charlotte, Talal, Willie, Tamara, Aracely, good job. The top 16, Thomas, Sel, Dave, Brian, Howard, Dennis, Victor, Matthew, Joseph, Maurice, Ed, Neri, Linham, James, Nicholas in the top 4. Now Ben moves up to number 2 and Pather still number 1. Hey, congratulations to all the top 32. And if you were in the top 64 and you're no longer, that's okay. And if you didn't even make the top 64, you didn't qualify, that's okay too. As long as you're out there going for it, as long as you're out there serving, doing so, you don't have to get intense and get stressed. I was talking to someone today. I had a one-on-one appointment today with someone who's a business owner in town. And she's an independent salesperson. And she markets wellness products. So we were just talking. I was getting to know her better. She was getting to know me because she wants to know how she can refer my funding. She's not a business owner. She's an independent sales rep. And I wanted to understand her product so I could help refer it. You're going to hear a little bit about that today. But in talking to her, she goes, you know what? I'm real persistence. I was talking to her about persistence is easy because if you believe in what you're doing and you're just educating, you're enthusiastic about doing that all the time. And whether you do it today or not is okay, but you don't feel like you got to grip the steering wheel all the time. So if any of you are struggling with stress, struggling with, I got to do more, start focusing. I would encourage, this may help, focus on educating more. And it's fun. Perseverance is easy when you're out there. And I think these top 32 are all doing a little bit of that. So let's talk about funding as a service, being a local market. We do every local meeting. We touch on these quick. Local building versus distance building. Local always wins. Why? Trust faster. Relationships convert. Referrals grow naturally. Renewals and stage funding happen more often. Brokers become known as local funding experts. Follow-up is easier and more effective. This is what you want to focus on. Long-term income is built. Now, you can still build national, right? It's just harder. It takes 10 times as more contacts if you're dealing not local, 10 times as many contacts. So it can work, but your speed and reach are not as strong. It allows flexibility, remote work. It does support, our virtual model, but it's not, no, there's nothing like local building. National funding is a lane. You can drive on it, but local funding is a moat. Y'all know what a moat is? It's a protective river around a castle, right? When you have a local moat, when you're working locally and you get referrals and you start to be known in town, you start getting referrals just about every week. Just about every week, someone's referring you to a business to talk to. And I think I'm averaging about 4 a week right now, referrals. It's unbelievable. It's not surprising. And I've only been focused locally since late November. Okay. So that should tell you something right there. Something happened with my screen. So let me restart this. Not sure what's going on. Bear with me 1 minute. My mouse is way over here. I'm trying to get the play button going again, and I can't see the mouse. Bear with me. Can you stop sharing my screen, McGuire?
Sure thing. Give me a
I
second.
can't find my mouse on my screen, so I might be having an issue. All right, let's try this one more time. Share screen live is interesting, right? Yeah, I got an issue with Zoom. My Zoom window, Zoom workplace. McGuire, I'm going to make you. Actually, I can't. Can anyone else make McGuire the moderator? My Zoom just crashed, and you may be gone. Are you guys there?
I'm here. Yep.
Okay. Are you able to become a co-host? You're our co-host.
Correct. Yep.
If I leave,
You want me to? I'll reclaim host, and then you leave and come
yeah, if
back.
you can reclaim host, I'll be back in 1 second.
Alrighty.
There you go. All right. So let me see if I can leave. I can't even leave the room. So let me see. Zoom US. I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Alrighty. Just bear with us one moment, guys. Obviously, sometimes technology isn't as phenomenal as the DAC opportunity, but we prevail.
Two backgrounds on a lot of people here. That new design, love to see it.
So while we're waiting, how many of the top 32 are on? I know Joan McBroom is. I'm so proud of Joan. Is anybody else from the top 32 on here? Because congratulations to all of y'all. You did a great, great job.
Trying to see here. I'm looking through. We have Ellen Wynn. She's in the top 32.
All right. I think I'm back, buddy. Sorry
All
about
right.
that. Let's see if I can get my screen shared here and get this rolling again. Pick up where we left off, I hope. Okay, we already talked about the top 32. Sorry, this is where my screen is, but we'll get back. We'll get caught up here pretty quick.
And
And all of us need to know as we're going out there. Wow. It's a brand new computer, and I'm already having some bugs on.
Does anybody else see the force quit application on the screen?
Yes, I was just gonna say there is one window on the screen from Finder.
Okay.
If you're able to exit out of it.
You know, the problem is when you go to participate on Zoom, your mouse gets hidden. So I gotta, not always, but it's new now. It's hidden. So did you guys advance that? Okay. Let's see if I can find my mouse, but let's keep going. I'll get rid of that force quit in a minute when I can find my mouse. For now, let's just keep going back to this. We'll catch up. Sorry again, team, for technical difficulties. Live's live. All right. Bottom line is this, you know, when you do things live, when you go out and have a live conversation with a business owner, sometimes you're going to fumble. Sometimes you're going to say things incorrect. Who cares? Who cares? You go anyway. And, you know, as long as you're educating, it's okay if on your screen you have a forced quit thing, as long as you don't hit it. National funding's the lane, local funding's the moat. National efforts create transaction, local works create markets. You don't have to choose one, but I'm just going to tell you, local kicks butt. If you don't want to do local and you just want to do nationwide, you get to do it. But you're not going to get, you're going to have to talk to 10 times as many clients. So if you want to make a lot of income and you want to make a lot of impact, focus local. Now, if you don't have a local town, great, but you're on this because you're a local leader, right? Local markets average 2 to 4 fundings a week. and you're overriding those. In overrides, 2 to 4K a week in overrides. That's what you'll average when you have 4 or 5 other brokers in that town working in that town with you. It's you and 1, you and 2, you and 3. That is the model. Right now, last week, almost 20% of the applications that came into DAC came out of our local efforts right here in Michigan and the people they recruited. In the last 60 days, almost 20% of last week's new applications, in fact, I think it's 25%, came from new people I've worked with and new people they've worked with since November. 1/4 of all the apps last week. Now, maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 29%. I won't quote it, but let's just say it's significant. We're kicking butt. And if you want to dispute it, dispute it. But I'm asking you, you're here because you want to win, right? You're here because you want to win. I want you to win. We're going to give you a model right now. You can monopolize your marketplace. And that is real simple right there. Chambers and associations. Why chambers and associations? Well, when you join a Chamber of Commerce, by the way, we have a Chamber of Commerce reimbursement program where we will give you up to $500 reimbursement if you once you do $100,000 in funding from that chamber. You got to show the member they got the funding, that you met them through the chamber, and we'll reimburse up to $500. Plus, you're getting paid. That's a partnership we have with Bank Breezy to do that. So, folks, that is spectacular. It's risk-free. You just got to work it. I've been a member for a lot of years, just like I'm a member at Planet Fitness. And if you don't show up to meetings, it's pointless. Don't spend the money. That's why we don't pay it up front. But if you attend the meetings over and over, they're hands down simple way. Why? Instant access to business owner, credibility by association, structured networking events. You literally go to events and you get to know people, and then you schedule coffees to get to know about their business. Natural one-on-one conversations. This is what we do. Come on now. Let's find this mouse. I don't want to hit that and go out. All right. Local leader expansion. The goal, every chamber meeting should lead to 3 to 5 one-on-one meetings. Minimum. I have a goal right now to do 15 one-on-ones per month. Right? And I'm beyond that. My chamber just asked me if I would be an ambassador. I have a meeting tomorrow to be an ambassador. I won the award for the most networking in the last month, January, not the first month, January's most networking, February, most networking. I mean, I referred more business than anyone else. Not that I got my referrals, I referred. That's paying it forward. Your goal, have a meeting, go to a coffee shop, understand their business, man. Understand their growth plans. Understand their struggles. Understand what's working for them. Understand about their business and refer them to someone. Sorry, you can't see what's behind there. But trust will accelerate. All right? Hang on, I got to get rid of some of this stuff. This is really unhappy with Zoom. Bear with me. It's like I dropped my brochure and you're asking me about the product. Right? I'm like, hang on. Let me find the bullet points. I don't have my drop card. And I don't want to stop share. Man, this is okay. I'm over that button. Yeah, well, if I don't hit the button, it just avoids. Warm market. That's what we're focused on. Warm market. So you got your chamber, number 1. Number 2 is your warm market. Some of you haven't contacted business owners, that means you're embarrassed or you're afraid. And if you're afraid, who else do you want to talk to than people you know? Tell them you're in business funding and educate them. And it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know. I would challenge anyone here. I'm not a real estate agent because I don't want to sit in open houses. I'm not a real estate agent because I don't want to compete with the other 100 real estate agents in town. Now, you can make $500,000 selling real estate next year and be brand new. You can. No question about it. I don't want to do it because there's already 3 million real estate agents and there's only 4.3 million homes sold a year. I want to be a business funding dynamo because there's nobody helping businesses in your town. You get to do it. But if you're not even willing to talk to business owners, you probably shouldn't be in this space because that means you don't believe in our product. You don't believe it's helping them. You don't believe in them and their ability to take that 100 grand and turn it into 400 grand. If you don't believe you can get them 40 grand and they're, oh my God, it's so hard to repay, then you don't believe in them building a business. Give me 50 grand. I'll turn it into 500,000. Thank you. I don't care if I got to pay back 60. The only reason I haven't borrowed money here is we haven't had to, but I would in a second because I can turn 10,000 into 40. I can turn 100 into 400. And so can your business owner friends. So don't judge the expense of this funding. Get out there and talk to them. All right. Anyone you know, referrals are the multiplier. Every conversation should end with who else might be able to benefit from this? Who else should I meet? Do you know anyone else? I got 3 referrals this week. 3. I had a conference call this morning. I got another one tomorrow, and I talked to a conference, a whole organization, a franchise that supports franchises nationwide, and they're becoming a broker. Why? Because someone I had a coffee with last week referred me to them and said, hey, you know what? This franchise is always supporting franchisees, and they always need money. And I want to introduce you to them because I've watched you over the last 6 weeks. You really do care about businesses, so I'm going to refer you to this franchise. And they're now becoming a broker, and they've got almost 1,100 franchises they're the consultant for, and they're becoming a broker because of a one-on-one at a coffee because someone sees that I care. It is so easy. It is so easy to get these type referrals, but you got to ask and you got to give referrals too. I'm sending protein shake purchases to people. I'm sending insurance quotes to people. I'm asking people to check out someone else's mortgage broker. I'm asking someone to look at someone's health insurance. My mom and dad got a new insurance. Morgan got a new insurance. I got a new insurance. If we see someone who can help us out, why wouldn't we want to? And you know what happens? They know this dude cares. This girl cares. Be a connector. Ask for referrals. Okay, so those are your model for chamber. Okay, we'll take questions on it, but I want to go over a couple things here. Operational update, and I don't have my watch to stand schedule. McGuire, give me a 5 minutes to 9:30, or are we
Got
already
it.
there with the issues?
We are at 9. We're about to be 9:20 right now, so I'll let you know at 25.
Perfect. Yeah, give me a 2-minute notice. All right. Operational update. We're doing something new. We're doing this manually. This is going to be spectacular. And then I'm going to come back and finish up with everything we just talked about so that you're doing this. You got to go do what we just said part-time. I'm not doing any of that full-time. I'm doing that part-time. 15 coffees. I had 2 today. It takes a couple hours. That's it. Schedule them when you can. 15 of those a month. That's 15 hours a month. That'll give you more business conversations than you can handle. And you don't have to go knocking doors, and you don't have to telemarket 100 people, and you don't have to buy leads. Work your local market and support your local market. Be a neighbor. Operational update. When someone starts applications, many times they stall when they're in the process of uploading their bank statements. So they answer the applet, they say they're doing 15,000 a month, and then what happens is we send them over to finish their application, upload their documents, and sign it. I'm not talking about Giggle. I'm talking about the 15,000 and higher. And a good percentage of them never upload their bank statements. Either they don't have them, they weren't prepared, they didn't know they had to, they've got questions, they stall. What happens is we've got a platform that we're going to use, and we're going to improve it. So common reasons people stall is they weren't prepared to upload their bank statements. They didn't know they had to be a PDF. They're doing it from their mobile phone, which they don't know how to save a PDF on their mobile phone, many of them, or how to upload them. They're trying to upload pictures. We won't take pictures. They got to be PDFs, bank statements. So it's best done on a computer, but many of them don't know that. So they don't complete and they stall. So what happens? What we do today if someone stalls is my goodness, we currently we send an email to the client, say, hey, you stalled, here's your link to continue. All right. We also say an email to the broker and say, hey, your client stalled. You may want to reach out to them in case they have questions. So we've already covered it, right? We've already helped. But what we found is our internal team also started sending out texts to the client because the brokers just weren't calling their clients. It's sad. The brokers weren't who make the most money. So we have non-commissioned people in the corporate team reaching out. They were paying money to work for our company. They're reaching out to help stalls become clients, and then we're paying full commission to the broker. Okay. So we've got to make a change to that. Doesn't make sense because we keep having to scale that. We have to keep putting more and more people on. So we've decided, you know what's the best way to do this? Let's have a little operational change. Let's keep sending the client an email. Let's keep sending the broker an email. And let's keep sending a broker or the client a text and saying continue, internal team. But let's also inform the agency leader that who's making 20% of the bonus revenue, maybe 30, 40, depends on what level they are. We're going to inform them as well that they've got a stall so they can help out, because what we found is brokers aren't jumping on this. Some do, the pros do, but many brokers are just, they're letting it go. Maybe it's just someone who answered an ad. Maybe someone's running a Craigslist ad and they don't want to talk to clients, or someone's, just got their card was picked up. They don't even know the person, so they don't want to call. I'm not sure the reason why, but the reality is we shouldn't have the number of stalls we have not get worked. When we talk to the client, they'll go, yeah, I haven't heard from my broker. I just was confused. I just wanted to talk to someone about the cost. So usually it's a concern or a question about how to upload statements. So concerns, we want to answer those. It's fun. It's actually fun to have those conversations. So we're going to do this manually for now. It's not going to be an automated system. So it's not real time, but starting tomorrow, we're going to start reaching out to the up team leaders and letting you know here's the client's name, here's the broker's name, and this is a stall. And you'll be able to reach out. Now, it can be a little clunky. So because maybe they've now filled out the application, they've completed it by the time you call them. So, or maybe the broker did reach out to them and they've completed it, or maybe they've decided, hey, I just don't want to proceed and I don't want to take the funding. There's going to be issues because it's not real time. We experience those now. When we reach out to the team, there's times when they say, hey, the client will go, I've already told my broker I'm not proceeding. I don't want the funding. And our internal team says, no problem. Sorry about that. I didn't get that message yet. Or the broker will reach out and the client will go, hey, I already completed the app. I stalled 4 hours ago, but I've completed the app already. And you go, okay, great. I just was checking to make sure. So your job isn't to, as leaders, isn't to close the customer. It's to do a reach out and make sure the customer has their questions answered by someone. If not the broker, you, right? Because you're getting paid significantly about this. All right. So what you want to do is call the broker, find out if the brokers talk to them, call the client, offer to help, reduce the confusion, build certainty. And what will happen is when you guys align, maybe you call on a 3-way call. We're going to have those stalls going on. We've got thousands of stalls. So we've hired a team of people who's reaching out to all those stalls, and our bonus revenue is going to be reduced because we got to pay them to reach out to all those stalls, right? So our bonus revenue is going to be reduced. And what we've agreed to is for the first 14 days after a stall, we get full bonus revenue. After 14 days, the team that's reaching out on our behalf, on your behalf, is going to earn a little bit. So our bonus revenue is going to be reduced somewhat. Not significantly, but somewhat. And so with that known, right now they're stalled and they're not moving forward, right? So we want to have some urgency. Brokers, if they stall 14 days later, our team's working with them to come forward, you're going to earn less because you didn't do your job of talking to the client and getting them to proceed. We had to have a corporate employee who's not paid on commission do it. We're going to give them bonuses, and we got to pay people to do this work, right? So that means there's going to be some costs for that we're willing to put up front. We're putting it up front. Already have 3 people doing this with old stalls that we're paying. We're not asking you to pay. So, but we don't want any new stalls to be ignored, right? Because first of all, the client goes elsewhere, number one. But number two, it costs you money if they eventually come forward 4 weeks from now. Now, you'll still get credit, but you won't get as much credit. So we had to put something in place. When we looked at the data and saw the number of thousands of stalls, we said, we gotta start reaching out to these people. Well, who? Well, the brokers should be. I know, but they're not. Some are, yeah. And so if they get them to come back in and get it in the system, then great. It's a full commission. But if the stall team does, the internal stall team, then DAC is going to get paid a little bit less. Okay. And so that means if we get paid a little less, bonus revenue is a little less. So I just want you to know it's a decision we've made rather than that data sitting there. So the first goal is all of you as leaders, you're supporting your local market. If you get a text, if I get a text right now that Tom Hansen, one of the guys I'm working with out of Lansing, if I get a text that he's got a new client stalled, I'm calling Tom. Tom, have you already talked to the client? No, Tom, I know is talking to the client because I know how he operates. He'd be calling the client. But
2 minute
I'd
timer,
also be
boss.
calling him. Thank you, buddy. Do you need help? Do you need some support? Well, let's call them together. Do you want me to be online with you? Let's call them. Hey, I'm making a huge override on that. Right? And if Jim McIntosh has a client, I did this with his client last time. He stalled in the application. Jim put me on the phone with him because Jim was Jim's first client, and we talked together, a three-way call. And he said, I'm uploading my bank statements. I just need a few days. And a few days later, he uploaded his bank statements and got the big funding, a nice funding. Jim got paid. I earned a nice override. Of course, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that anyway because I want to help a business owner. But every one of you should be thinking about that. And even if you're only going to be notified if you're at the 60% level or higher. So we're not notifying you if you're the enroller and you're like the enroller's enroller and you're making 4% only. We're going to the up team leader who's making a nice big paycheck. They want to help. They've got the experience to help. And so we're going to have them help. All right. Now it's a test. It's a test for 60 days. And if we find some things that are a problem with it, we'll pull the plug on having that external team. But we think they can generate a lot of business for all of us from old leads that got started. All right. So this week's goals, as we wrap this up, go to some chamber events. McGuire went to a couple of chamber events. He's looked at 3 or 4. Go meet with them. See the vibe. You don't join the first one you go to unless it's the only one in your local town, then join it. Your local one is best. All right. Attend the chamber and association. Be active. I have a goal to be the most active person in my chamber. Right. That's why they asked me to be an ambassador. Right. So why? Because you're representing that you really do care about your community. And it's not because I'm special, because I'm not. And I've only been doing this a few months, but I care greatly about every business owner in there and every independent salesperson. I know what you guys go through as an independent salesperson. If I meet someone who's selling Mary Kay, you bet your butt I know what they're going through. And I want to help them. If I know anybody who wants some Mary Kay, I want to know what they have, what's their angle, what's the advantage of your product over what my daughters and wife are going to get from the store. Tell me so I can tell them what I learned and maybe put you in touch with them. That's helping people. You don't think she wants to then help me? Right. And it's not because that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I care about that independent broker, care about people and be a good neighbor. You see a neighbor stuck in the snow. What do? You get out and push them out of the snow. You help them. Right. You see a neighbor, with a rope that they're trying to pull a tree down and the tree's still there. Go help them. Right. You just help. If you're not that person, you're not that person. It's hard to be successful in business if you're not that person, all right? Be neighborly. So attend a chamber and association event this week. Set 3 one-on-one meetings from that. Get to know some business owner. Schedule 1 coffee with a bank manager in your town. Meet 5 businesses in your defined circle. Ask every business owner for 1 referral. Help your team stalls. Slow is smooth, but smooth is fast, right? I can't see what's back there, but I made these slides. So I think it says slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Because the bottom line is you don't have to think, I got to call 50 people today. You can and reach none. You may reach 50, but connect with none. I'd rather connect with 2, 4 times a week and connect with 8 this week, because that's going to lead to a few application referrals within a week or 2, if not a lot more than that. All right. So let's go to your questions now. I'm going to turn this off, but I'm going to summarize. McGuire, can you stop sharing my screen? Because I can't get to the stop
Yes.
sharing. I got a bunch of other slides on here that.
You got it.
Thank you. Okay. Let me know when the screen, when I'm not sharing.
It's good.
All right, cool. So I can't see anyone because my Zoom is still up on my side.
No problem.
My
Yep.
Zoom is breaking down. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. I can see me, but I can't see you. Let's go. Let me just summarize this, team. I'm having a blast, and it's okay if you're not yet. but I'm going to challenge you to you and one and you and two and you and three in your town. Try to, if you don't already have a partner in your town, meaning a broker that you've recruited who lives within 20 miles of you that you can meet with a couple times a week, write down some people and reach out to them. That needs to be on your agenda for this week. You and one, you need a buddy. And you and your buddy need to get together and talk a couple times a week. And when you get together a couple times a week, coffee, and you talk about the plan, and you talk about referrals, and you talk about warm market, and you talk about certification, and you talk about everything you're doing, you get together with your buddy, you and one, then you and two. It is that easy. You don't need 50, you and one, and you and two. If you just had 10 fundings a week coming in your group, that average $400 over each, it's $4,000 a week. And you don't need 50 people to have 10 a week. Now, you may need 20 people. So you and one, you and two becomes you and five and you and seven. In a year from now, it is you and 20. And you are doing 10 fundings every week. It's not happening now for a lot of people, but I can tell you, we're setting a pace here in Michigan. And this pace is picking up. And it's going to challenge us. I don't know how many people are in the top 64. I think there were 5, all brand new people from Michigan in the top 65, all brand new. And they all started in January and February after the tournament and still got in. So it's starting to grow. And I know a lot of people nationwide have big groups, make big checks and all that. And I can just tell you, look at Matt and Nick, they can't build local. So you can do it through the phone, you can do it national, you can do it other ways. But I challenge you, if you have the ability to build local and join those chambers. And if next week you haven't, if you haven't even gone and checked them out, maybe you can't afford a chamber, you can go visit. You can visit a BNI meeting. You can visit an association meeting. There's even online association meetings, online BNIs. You're allowed to visit and check them out for free. You don't have to join to go to a meeting and check it out. So go check them out and see what you want, see if it's worth joining. And I'm telling you, it is, if they're an active community. If they're an active chamber, it's very much worth joining. And don't let 2 weeks go by without doing it. Don't. You need to go visit the next 2 meetings they do. You need to be checking them out, like in March. You need to. That's more important than attending this meeting. It's more important than getting certified. Well, not getting certified, but it's more important than making a list and calling the list. All right. We want to go to your questions now. I know I went through a lot. We had some technical difficulties. But is there anything you want to ask about our local meeting? And if you're brand new, and you got the local leader circular, I had someone reach out earlier. I think it was Suzanne, said she took the 10 emails, turned it into a little booklet, of all the email journey for local leaders. Impactful, powerful stuff. It's got everything in it. So if you haven't done that already, print those 10 out, put them in a binder and read them every day and do what it says. All right, who's got some questions for us today?
Yes, we have Ellen Wynn. Go ahead, Ellen.
Hey, David, I don't have a question, but I've just got a burning comment that I've got to make.
Oh, wait. What's that backdrop? What's that backdrop? Top 32.
Woohoo.
Top 32. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, Ellen.
I'm honored to be there and really proud to be there. So I'm in a great audience with the other 31 in that top 32. Hey, you know what? You're talking about the local leader and then the stalled emails going. I'm envisioning that becoming a ripple effect to turn into a local leader just through those stalled emails, where you may be helping somebody that's not in your town. Because if you're doing that and you're doing 3-way calls, I love doing 3-way calls with my team. If somebody ever calls me for help, wanting to talk to a client or wanting to talk to a broker, I don't just take the number and call that person for them. I say, hey, I'm happy to do the call, but I'm not going to do it for you. I'll do it with you. Let's do a 3-way. That way you're listening in, you're learning and understanding the process. So as you grow in the business, you're learning how to handle these calls yourself. So it's a great learning and teaching experience. And like I said, I think it'll be a great ripple effect.
Yes.
stalled email out to other people in your team that may want to be a local leader, but they don't quite have that solid ground under them yet. And I think it's going to help do that. So love it, love it. Can't wait to see that coming. Thank you.
Yes, discipleship. And you'll start getting calls tomorrow, everybody. So if you see a call come in, maybe text, I mean, you'll get emails. We're not going to call you all. You're going to get emails. So keep your eye out for emails. Looking for those. And great comment there, Ellen. Three-way call is the system. It's not, again, Ellen calls for you. If I can't get a broker on the phone, I'll reach out to them. But like you said, it's discipleship. It's an opportunity to teach one while you're reaching one rather than just reaching one on their behalf. That doesn't do any duplication. It's all about duplicating. Great point, Ellen. Great leadership. Thanks for bringing that up as the main thing we want people doing.
Absolutely. We have Carmen. Go ahead, Carmen.
Okay, now I have, okay, there you go. I went to 3 or 4 businesses today, and the barber, she's like, totally, I don't need your help. I don't borrow. I don't need a loan. I have everything I need. Don't come back. I know, and you're wasting your paper sending me stuff. I'm like, okay, fine. She's so rude.
Well, that's good that she doesn't need it. So I would learn from that, though, that maybe she felt you weren't hearing her the first time she told you, I'm good. So generally when people push back and like, hey, I don't need you, is when they feel we're pushing on them. So it's more about educating that we're available in case. And if you don't, congratulations. You're one of the unique ones. Congratulate them. That's when I praise people and tell them how successful their business is, because 6 and 10 are breaking even or losing money. And if you don't need funding and you don't have opportunities to grow, or you don't have an idea that would require funding, if you came to me and said, Dave, I don't need your funding. I don't need it. I don't need it. Please, I've told you I don't need it. If I do, I know who to call. So I would just make sure that you're offering it, not pushing it. Pitching it is offensive. Educating on it is a blessing. Pushing it, pitching it, offensive. They may not even tell you that, so I'm not saying you are, but congratulations for going out and having conversations. And it's okay if some business doesn't need money. That's great. It's like a neighbor who doesn't need you to shovel their driveway. No problem.
But I did go to the where they make copies for stuff, 35 cents for a color copy of a flyer. And so I went over there and I asked her about putting the QR code thing on the thing and my name in the little white box, because I couldn't figure it out. But Precious told me how to do that, so I got that done. But I told her about the thing, and she was interested because she wanted some extra money. And I told her she could be my helper or whatever you call it in here, because just two blocks away. And I told her I'd come back tomorrow. And I didn't know if I was allowed to invite her to this because she's not in yet.
This isn't the right meeting. You can tell from the tone of this. This is not designed to inform people of our business. It's designed to inform people who've already been through the local leader journey, who want to be local leaders, what they needed to go to the next level. So great stuff. And by the way, a couple things. When you're recruiting people, they want to have their own business. Nobody wants to be employed by anyone. So I will encourage you when you're talking to someone, Carmen, because you're always an encourager. You're always complimentary on here. I would focus on, when you're recruiting someone, offer them their own thing. Right? They're not in your team. When people say, hey, I want to thank, I see 10 more people in my team on here. Those 10 people are not happy to hear that. Those 10 people feel, I'm not saying you're doing this, Carmen. I'm just saying this to educate. When you said, I talked about being, one of our helpers in the team, or what do we call them? And basically you're saying a teammate,
but
right?
I told her she would have her own website and she would have her own people. And since she works with the owner, and the owner knows a lot of people, I said, so you'll have all these people under you and you will make lots of money because they're going to be under you. I didn't mention me at all.
Yeah, no, and it's great. And there's nothing, what I would like everyone to do, this has nothing to do with you, Carmen, but because we're here and I don't see a lot of hands up, I want to say this. And you can, McGuire, you can take Carmen off. I don't want her to feel like she's on the spot, like I'm talking to her. This is for everybody who's on here today. when you're new at building a group, first of all, it's we, not I. It's you. If you go out and make this happen, if I go out and get a client, I make 3 grand. If you go out and get a client, you're going to make 3 grand. If you build a team and they're excited, or if you refer another broker and they take this serious and they make an impact in their community and they're willing to help people, they'll make a commission and you get an override for coaching them and training them. This isn't a thing where you make a bunch of money for recruiting a bunch of people. It's not. It's a business like an insurance agency or a real estate agency that you got to bust your backside helping people break through the discomfort of comfort levels and comfort circles. And you know how many people in our company aren't willing to do our business? 90%. So it's not like you're going to get 10 in and make money. If you get 10 of the right people and they go make an impact and they're not pitching, they're educating, they're working local, they're helping people, you'll kick butt and you'll make great money. But if you don't do that, it'll be a pie in the sky, just like every other home-based business in the world where 95% never make $500 and lose money. You won't lose money here, but that's why we're free. We're not free because we should be free. We're free because I don't want to go to bed at night and say, I can't do this business anymore because 9 out of 10 people I recruit are losing money. They lost their upfront business. I have a hard enough time that some of you are trying and not making money, right? So could I make money on you when you're not making money yet? I can't anymore. I used to 20 years ago, but I started a free company in 98 and I've not done it since because I can't do that anymore. So please don't use the mentality that this is just an easy, you recruit a few, you're going to make all that looks good on a whiteboard. But I'm using examples of 10 brokers, 10 clients a week. You'll make 4 grand a week, 10 clients a week. Now, how do you get 10 clients a week? You got to have a team of 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 who are getting after it. That means you may need 200 to 300. You may need 180 who do nothing to have 20 who do something. You may not. I've had people say, Dave, you shouldn't use those numbers. You should just tell them to recruit good people. And okay, well, I've never in my life, 30 something years doing this full time, I've never seen someone make full-time money on their first 10 people. I've always seen 90% of their people quit, don't do anything. We have a free renewal. A free renewal, guys. Is this scaring you? I'd rather scare you than mislead you. I'd rather temper it down and say, hey, it's going to take you a few weeks in the gym before you notice a change and before you're off that medication. It's going to be 6 months because you've built for the last 30 years your lifestyle. It's going to take some time. Let's talk truth. It's going to take you some time. And if you're too afraid to do that, not saying all of you are, I'm talking to people on the recording, or if anyone who's sitting on the fence right now, you want transparent truth, there's a lot of money to be made here for a few people who give it what it takes. There's a lot of money, few percentage. For the 10% who do what it takes, you can be in shape by buying a Planet Fitness membership. For the 10% who do what it takes, you can make a full-time living in real estate. But if you're part of the 90%, you'll lose money in real estate and lose weekends. For the 10% who do what it takes, you can make great money in life insurance. For the 90% who can't, you'll offend people and make zero and spend a lot of money on licenses. That's called life. And so let's be real and let's attract people who are business minded, who will do business things. It shouldn't take talking in someone to join their local chamber, right? It shouldn't take talking into someone to be a good neighbor and help business owners, but it does. It takes education of it. And if someone doesn't want to do it, it's okay. Maybe they're a great social media magnet and they can do well as an influencer. Go for it. We don't teach it because we've never seen anyone do it effectively, right? Otherwise, we teach it. Be active in your social media. Be active, be active, be active. But man, monopolize your marketplace because there's no one who can come in after you and build a team in your local town and help them get what they want. And then you'll get what you want. Don't focus on what you're earning on someone. Focus on how much you're helping them to earn. What grieves my heart is the amount of people that aren't making money in DAC right now. Not the ones who are making great money, the ones who aren't. That's who we're constantly trying to make things better for. But I can't change human nature, and I can't make the 9 out of 10 who don't sell real estate make money by joining EXP or Keller Williams or Century 21. It's not the company. It's the person in the seat in the company. It's not the company, whether you're making money in DAC or not. It's what you're doing in DAC. For things to change, we must change, not our company. People hopscotch from company to company to company to company to company. They never recognize the mirror is where they got to look instead of looking elsewhere. They got to look at the mirror, and they can do it here if they quit trying different routes. If you just sit in one and say, I'm doing it here, I'm going to make it here, I'm going to find a way, I'm not going to be distracted by 15 other opportunities. Oh, there's this new crypto opportunity. Oh, there's this new, hey, you know what? There's a lot of great opportunities for the right people, but most opportunities aren't great for most people, including DAC. We're not great for most people because most people won't do what it takes, but we're great for the right people. So I would rather you say, you know what, I'm going to be the right person in DAC. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to educate people. And then you know what? The business owners who've got a growth idea, they're going to take that 50 and turn it into 500. They don't care that it costs them 62. That's smart. And we're not going to bicker about the cost of funds because we're not attracting needy people to get money. We're attracting business focused entrepreneurs who can grow whatever we get them into more. And if it's not the right fit, we're going to tell them it's not the right fit. We got some things we're working on that are pretty spectacular. I see a bunch of hands went up. So I'm going to stop my rant here, but I just want you all to know that this will work for those who do it right and work it, and it won't work for those who don't. So if you're recruiting people, don't paint pie in the sky false stuff. Find people who are business minded and they'll do just fine because they don't need to be talked into working and being self-disciplined and having common sense conversations with people about who this is for and who it's not for. They won't sell funding. They'll educate people on funding. Okay, I'm going to try to talk very little and just answer direct questions and not go on tangents so we can
All
move to
all great
the next
stuff.
10.
Definitely good to hear. We have Natafia. Go ahead, Natafia.
Hi guys, how you doing? Okay,
Hello,
so
hello.
I'm working getting over my analysis paralysis. So I said tomorrow, in between everything else I'm doing, because I'm working like 2 jobs right now to get things caught up and paid. So it's a lot on me right now. But I said in between that, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna at least go out for a little bit. I made me a script. So, of course, it's just an intro, right?
Yeah.
So, what would be some of the things that, okay, after I say you introduce myself, a little bit of me being independent and what you mentioned pitching and not educating, because that came after I raised my hand. Because I was going to say, what are some things I could prepare to get in there, introduce myself, give, because right now I don't have business cards either. I was just going to make some flyers. I have a printer.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the flyers and give it to them. And
Mhm.
then after I introduce myself, what could it be? Because they're probably going to ask me a question and I don't want to say anything wrong. So how can I get in, introduce myself and
Okay.
get
Let
out?
me
But
let
you
me
also said educate. So
let me first say this. Get used to saying that's a great question. I don't know that one, and I'll find out for you though. Get used to saying that. Then you won't say anything wrong. But because
yeah.
you can't say anything wrong if you care. So I would turn the table and I'd ask yourself before you go out and have conversations. And first of all, watch the business funding training again and again and again, because each time you watch it, you'll pick something new up. As we grow, we hear different things. So watch the business funding
The
training.
certification.
Oh, no, the funding training itself. Once you're certified, there's another training called business funding in the LMS. Watch
I
that.
can
It's got
look.
all the
Maybe I.
scripts, it's got conversations, what to say, all
Okay.
that. So I'd say watch that. But even more important than that, the 6 beliefs about our funding is what you need to be thinking about when you walk through the door, not what to say, what you believe. What you
Okay.
believe will drive what you say. And if you believe organic food is better than pesticide food, you're going to have you don't need a script. you're going to share what you believe about organic food over pesticide food, and you don't have to understand it well. You just, I believe that natural is, better than those chemicals. I got a feeling there's side effects from those chemicals. And natural is, yeah, there might be a bug on it, but I can wash the bug off. I'm okay with a bug that's natural. I'm not okay with a chemical that kills bugs, because what is it doing to me? If you
Right.
believe that, you don't need a script. So we believe business owners are rock stars. We believe business owners have great growth ideas. We believe that business owners, if they can get money from the bank, they should. That's why we're friends with banks. And if they have collateral, they can get good money. It's just going to take them a month or two, and they may not want to put up collateral. But we believe banks are amazing for them. But most people, we also know most businesses we walk in can't get funding at a bank, yet they got good growth ideas and they don't have capital laying around. If they do, they don't need us. But if they don't, they need alternative capital. And now we also believe that most alternative capital providers are not the best one for that client. There's many providers. Which one's best? I don't know which one's the best of all of ours for a client till they apply. I never know. So I love the fact that we don't judge a client. We get everything and we let the funders look at it, and they may want a bunch of restaurants this year. We got this special right now, the spa special. So one stop for the best offer, because we have multiple providers. That's what I believe, that we need them to apply. Most of our providers, none of you have ever heard of, they don't advertise. I always give the example. Have you ever heard of UWM? UWM Mortgage. You heard of them?
No.
No. Largest mortgage company in the world next to Rocket, but they're wholesale. Nobody's ever heard of them because they don't advertise unless you live in Michigan. They're 10 miles from Rocket. They both went to Michigan State. They are competitors. One's retail, one's wholesale. One advertises, one doesn't. Rocket literally spends $1 billion a year on advertising. UWM spends zero, but UWM is the wholesaler. We've got lenders nobody's heard of. So if they don't apply with us, they're not getting the best offer. I can't guarantee that, but we put a $500 guarantee on it. We've never had to pay it, so I'll guarantee it up to $500. And so if you believe that, the business owners are going to struggle without capital, and when they're growing, they need it, and when they're not growing, they need to institute some growth ideas. So they either got to put a new plan in place and they need money for it, or they're growing and they need money to fund it. We did a call. Jim put me on the phone with Jim McIntosh, he's in the top 4 right now. He put me on the phone with a client the other day, Saturday, because they're blowing and going. They're growing super fast. And they've got to buy, I won't share private details, but they got to have $800,000 to buy a bunch of material, nutrition or ingredients to bake all this stuff for a few months from now. They need $800,000 in September. They need $350,000 next month. Otherwise, they can't say yes to these giant orders from these big stores, and because they're growing fast. And that's the same thing happened with my juice company. That's why I had to sell. That's why I'm passionate about this. So if you can, instead of thinking, what am I going to say? Think about, what do I believe? Now go in, say, I just want to inform you that we got working capital in case you ever have an opportunity to grow and you want to fund it. Maybe you got a bank relationship. If so, that's awesome. But if not, you don't have collateral or you don't want to wait. That's what we do. And we represent all the top providers. So I'd love to give you some information in case you ever have an opportunity. You can't say it wrong if you believe right. If you believe that right now, if you go in thinking our money's expensive, this is so expensive, most people aren't going to take it, most people don't get improved, go sell real estate. Go sell real estate. Unless you believe nobody's going to buy a home.
Well, I have my real estate license now.
Yeah, there you go. So, but my point is, I'm being facetious, that as long as you believe, you're in the right place and you share what you believe. That's all.
Okay.
Watch that funding training again.
Would you say thing for the bank managers? Because I think maybe I should start with that, right? Because that kind of get me.
I wouldn't start there. I'd start with your warm market. I'd start with watching the funding training and then follow what the funding training says. It says to start with your warm market and then go to your local market and then go to banks, because you want to have some little bit of education behind you, because they're not going to refer you to anyone until they feel like you really are going to take care of them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff. We have Deborah. Go ahead, Deborah.
Hey, good evening. So where can I reach out for answers if I need something on the spot, or just even, an answer?
Your enroller is the best way.
So that's been a while, so I don't know.
Okay.
Or where?
I'd reach out to support and they can tell you who your enroller is and your agency leader. So you have there's a managing general agency above you, a national marketing organization agency leader above you, all different MGA4, SGA3s. So you have teams who've built, the business and they know how to support customers in your team. And if it's me, it's me. And then I would give you my mobile and reach out. So I would say call support. They'll give you your lineage of your agency. And that's where your on the spot answers come from.
Okay. And can someone put in the chat the support number?
Yeah, what you want
Yes.
to do is because we got to verify who you are. The easiest way is go into your back office and use
Oh,
the
okay.
contact support because that's got your broker ID already, your name, we know you are
Gotcha.
who you are. Otherwise, we can't give any sensitive information.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
All righty. Thank you,
Thank you.
Deborah. And thank you. We have Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff. Oh,
Jeff Perry. All right.
Bringing the heat, David. Mike,
come on, Jeff.
Had their Wheaties this morning and maybe this afternoon. I don't know. Good stuff, because it's all true. When you speak truth to people, it's hard to hear sometimes. I'm sharing with people, look, I am I'd rather talk you out of it than talk you into it, because if I have to talk you into it, I'm going to have to keep talking you into it. And
right.
that's not the game we're playing. And so my question is along the same lines of working in the field with brokers. When you're taking new brokers out, and I've kind of experimenting different ways, but I want your opinion on it and any other leaders here. So, as you said, it's true. People come and they go, right? They know, this isn't for me. Okay. If that's all it takes to knock you out, you're gone. But the reality of it is, so when you're working with these folks closely and you take them out in the field, how would you say the split should go, or should there be a split? In other words, I take you out as a new broker. We're going to call on folks. How would you arrange the compensation there? Where would you put the fundings, et cetera?
What I do is I look at what they're actually doing, their efforts. If they're already talking to their warm market, they're putting me on calls with people and we're going out on their behalf. I'm their enroller. I'm going to go out on their behalf and we're going to help them. If they're not sure, if they're still tentative, I'm going to split and let's do every other one. You take this business, I'll take the next business. You take this business, and so you just split as you walk in. You may know, we go in and Jeff, you're like, oh, this is where I get a donut every week. Okay, Jeff, this is going to be your client. I'll start the conversation because you're brand new, but we'll go in and we'll talk about how you come here for donuts all the time. They know you already. And so we'll just introduce that we're in business funding, that you just started with us, et cetera. So I like to give to the new person as much as possible to encourage them. But there are some people where you actually have to talk them into doing this. And in that case, I'll give them a few. But if they're not showing that they're not going to the training, and I'm like dragging them across the start line, then I'm not even going out with them anymore.
Well, and thank you for that, David. I say that, I with my my business outside of DAC, there's a lot of work to be done there. So going out with brokers during the week, that's taking away income from that. And so I want to back up to your point. That is, what are they doing? In other words, what's your threshold, brand new broker? Man, I'm excited, but you can't, you're trying to email them and contact, hey, certification going to get done? I guess I'm of the opinion that if someone won't take the 2 hours to go do the certification, I'm not going out in the field with them. That's just,
I'm not even training them yet. I mean, my sort is let me know when you're certified. I'd be happy to do a quick call with you and answer questions, but let's get you certified.
okay.
And then let's set up your game plan. And the game plan then is setting up goals and determining the warm market reach outs, determining the reaching out to your friends and family and your local community and letting them know you're now a broker, posting it on your Facebook page. If we're working together and you're not putting on your Facebook page that you now are in it and you're not calling anyone, you're a silent agent. I can't invest a lot of time into that because I've not seen that work. I'll give you an example. Jim McIntosh, who's in the top 4. I want to say Tom Hansen put me on the phone with Jim, and Jim said, "Yeah, I think I'd like to do this, but I have a hard time referring anything without meeting you. Can we meet for coffee?" And after a 3-way call, I said, absolutely, we can meet for coffee. We met for a half hour. He was already in, and he was already no, he wasn't certified yet. And then I said, okay, from here, you need to get certified right away. But I knew from the 3-way call, he was a serious man, right? So I was willing to invest that time into a coffee meeting before he joined. He joined, got certified, and had me on the phone with a client within 24 hours.
Right.
You know, because he's calling and he's put me on with several clients now. If you got someone who's willing to call clients, you obviously you're investing time into that. If someone's not, then you can be an encourager, and we do group calls, every Friday to encourage. You know the angle. So I would say that my sort is generally, unless the 3-way call, gives me some vibes that this guy's worthy or this gal's worthy of investing into now based on what they're saying, how they're saying it. Otherwise, it's join, get yourself certified. Let me know when you're certified. We'll set up your game plan. And that sorts out about 50% of the people who join.
Yeah. Easily.
But I used to meet with all of them before we had certification, and I would do the certification and spend hours on game plan meetings only to have them, not want to do the business. And so I care about them. Otherwise, again, I'd be charging them.
Right.
But I can't take time away from my family and time away from other brokers who want to do this for people who haven't proven yet that they're wanting to do it and they're interested. And a 3-hour certificate. I'm getting certified again right now. I watched 75% of it yesterday. It's me. I'm listening to it. I'm going through it again. I think someone should get certified every month. 3 hours of refresher every month. Funding training every month.
Thank you for that, David.
You bet. You got any words of wisdom? You're always one. We'll give you some words of wisdom, then I'll close us out. What do you got for everybody today from your experience?
I just would say, honestly, commitment sometimes is hard, and getting people to commit can be difficult. But just along the vein of what we're talking about, they got to want it for them. You hit the nail on the head. I said this morning, I don't have it at hand's length right now, but I talked about some of the stuff I found of yours on Facebook. And I think that the strongest point that hit me, and probably why I'm asking this question, is the last, 10, 11 people that I registered, the numbers are true. Some of them are excited. They've been to a couple of the huddles. They've tapered off. Right? They got started. Some of them got certified. They've tapered off. One guy, Lorenzo, I'm not sure if he's on tonight, but I didn't really look, but jumped right in and has already got people joining. Right? So action takers.
Yeah.
And the point there is you said something about, and I'm probably going to say this wrong because I don't have it in front of me, but it was, there's people that are willing to take action, work with them. And the rest of them, you gotta. It's hard to do. I don't find anybody, and so that's why I asked the question about taking them out and how the split should go. But I'm smart enough to know there's going to be probably people that I'll take out, put the funding in their name. They'll get the commission, and they'll taper off.
Yeah, well, and it's the old work where you deserve, not where you're needed.
Yeah.
Deserving, that doesn't mean they don't need help.
Right.
It means they're needy and they're not deserving because they're not doing their part. If they're doing their part, you don't mind them getting a commission, and they may quit, right? They may, but you're not going to be taking them out for long. Before long, you're going to their clients with them, the ones they've reached out to, and they're buddying with someone. We call that field training, and for the most part, it's not necessary if people are, following the training and talking to their warm market, putting you on a 3-way call with them. So you're going out with them to their clients, but you can canvas together. I'd go, I'd switch every other person. That's what I would do.
Well, I want to go, like most people, we should go where we're celebrated, not tolerated. And, the reality of it is, I had one guy say to me recently, a broker, and, I'm counting on you. But the tone was, kind of a do it for me.
Yeah.
I'm in a bad spot. So man, this is my own, you throw me this lifeline now. Let's make this thing work. Well, I can appreciate that to a degree.
Sure.
I shot back to him and I said, you gonna finish that certification?
Right.
Crickets.
And that's it. We can, I've been through bad situations, and I'm sure you understand, and we empathize. Like you said, it makes sense. Someone can say, "I'm in a bad place. I need to make some money quickly." Totally empathize. I got your back. I'm gonna commit to you 100%. In my marriage, I've learned that it's not 50-50, it's 120. You got to take 100%, my opinion anyway, take 100% responsibility for the relationship. And if your wife's nudging you in something that's bothering her, there's something there, right? So learn from it and figure out how to give her the certainty. It's the same thing in the business is I take 100% responsibility for your success as long as you do as well. And I'll bend over backwards to do anything I can to help you succeed. Take your calls on evenings, and I'll step out of things to take a call. But if you're not 100% committed, don't ask me to be 5% committed, because it doesn't mean time. It doesn't mean this is the only thing you do. It just means when you're doing it, you're coachable. You're doing it the right way. You're running the playbook the way we encourage you to run it. You're not pitching, you're caring about a client, and you're going through the trainings and certifications, and you want it. It's not that hard once you care about a business owner and you understand our funding and you understand it's not right for a lot of businesses, but it's right for millions. And once you have that, you just play that course. I've pushed a lot of applications away this week. They weren't the right fit, and it's fun. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. Is there anyone else with their hand up, McGuire?
We just won for the sake of time. We were good on that one. I had mine up, but we'll take it home because we were doing
Okay.
so well on time.
Well, say something. Say something. We'll end it. I'll end it
No
in a minute.
worries.
You get a minute. I get a minute. We'll end.
Sure. I just wanted to didn't get a chance to mention it in the beginning, but after having some of the conversations I just liked what you mentioned about, feeling out the chambers, because now that I've spoken to a good bunch here, they're all different in their own ways, but me being in Miami, the actual Miami Chamber of Commerce was a little overwhelming. I know Harlequin mentioned the thing with the Atlanta Chamber, but some of these smaller cities are 15, maybe 20-minute drives from me. And it's a different community. There's a lot, it's more emphasis on smaller businesses, communities, growing all at the same time together. So after speaking to some, having more insight than others, it was just great to see the differences. But you can tell that reaching out local is an advantage. But these chambers is really just kind of a superpower in a sense that you've already, you're a part of this family, if you will, with them. And you can see that just by speaking to the owners of the chambers. So I have yet to dive into it. I've seen your efforts with it, so I'm excited to see what comes out of it. And the same goes with what you and Jeff were just speaking about. You can same thing with our funding. You can express the opportunity. Those will run with it that are going to run with it. If you can help them along the way, that's a plus and a blessing. But those who do will do. So just keep that in mind. The more people you speak to, if you're brand new to it, all you can do is express your passion, and from what goes from there will go from there, whether you're, helping them along or they decided to do their own thing.
Well, I wanted to throw one more thing out about this, and we're done. Great stuff, buddy. Don't count people out just because they're not yet doing their part. So when I say I'm not, investing a lot of time, I'm going to encourage you. I'll encourage them. I'll send them a text, encourage them to go along, letting them know what I think they can accomplish. So I'll be an encourager. I just can't invest a lot more than just general encouragement. Don't count people out who've not gotten in shape thinking they can't, because eventually they're going to, right? Usually they get serious about it and they make waves. Competitive people, there's a lot of busy people have a lot of good things going on right now and don't need DAC, and DAC is just another thing. So be an encourager because the timing may not be right. Just like a business may not need funding today, a broker may not need DAC today or want DAC today. So we're not insulting to them. We don't get upset with them. We don't say, hey, if you don't want to, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that. But in our minds, we've got to say, the timing must be right for them before the timing is right for me to invest into them. Until the timing is right for them and they're doing the right things, I will be their encourager. I'll send out a text promoting the Tuesday nights. I'll send out a text promoting the Friday. I'll send out a text telling them, hey, there's a new this and there's a new that. I have a reason to reach out to all of them. But if the horse isn't galloping yet, don't sit on the horse thinking you're going to win the race. Recruit other horses, right? But encourage them. Keep salting their oats. Keep motivating with through some statements, but don't try dragging them across the start line. Just encourage them and go be an example. And when you're an example, the day I quit General Motors for my job, half the people I worked with at GM wanted to look at my business. I tried to recruit them all before I left. I created an example. Then they wanted to learn what's going. He just left our company. I want to know what he's doing because he's earning more in his business than I'm earning on my job. I got to learn about this, and he's doing it part time. Go be an example, and that'll help some of those horses leave the starting gate. So don't badger them, don't push them, don't pitch them, don't yell at them, don't tell them they're this that. Just let them be. Let them be and encourage them. Say, hey, maybe the timing's not right. The same thing you say to a business owner who doesn't take funding today. You don't say, come on, dude, you don't have a need. Come on. You say, hey, no problem. I just want you to know I exist in case you ever have an opportunity or you're ever in a pinch. You know where you can go. Hey, it's okay, Marcy, if this isn't the right time to build DAC. I get it. There's a lot of things in life. I just want you to know I think you'd be amazing here, Marcy, if you ever did. And so I'm here for you when you're ready, and I'll reach out periodically. Is that okay? Great. Beautiful. That's it. And then when they're ready to run, you invest more time. Until then, you're their encourager. All right. And many people on this call right now haven't been ready yet. And that's okay. That's okay. But you're still coming around and we still do these events for you. And a lot of people in your team aren't ready yet, but that's okay. They may be ready next week. Just you don't stop. Keep building your team. Keep building your team. You're a local leader. Keep building your local team and keep recruiting people in other cities too to lead those markets. Don't stop doing that. Every week, you should be trying to add a person or two to your lineup. And eventually, you've got 10 to 15 people you've personally enrolled or in each line that's doing this. And then you have a handful of fundings every week that you're overriding, right? And it ends up being a couple grand a week you're overriding. That's pretty spectacular. All right, team. I appreciate you all. Sorry about the difficulties. I know it caused a delay, and I know we've gone a little over. Hopefully, you've gotten some value here. Thank you for all the questions and comments. And go back and watch the recording if you got on late. And we'll try to do some editing to get rid of some of that stuff. All right. God bless you all.